You're in your 40s and you want to start motorcycling, this is the video for you. Because I did that 2 years ago and I made some experiences. Quite a few people drop out, decide this is not for them. And I have some ideas about why that is and what can be done to increase your chances of staying in the hobby. The point of this video is to bridge the gap between your imagination and reality. Because even though we are in our 40s, we still dream and fantasize. Some of those fantasies will just work against you once you get out there. Like I said, it's not what you think it is, but it is a wonderful hobby. It has transformed my life. So let's talk about it, okay? Let me share my experiences from 2 full seasons of riding, starting out in my mid-40s.
And if you're getting into this at 40 plus, I hear you. I did the same thing. I felt a calling. I had to get out there. And I'm glad I did. And I do share the best moments here. But remember, that's just social media. That's just glitz and glam. The reality is a lot more grim, a lot more challenging, and you need to be prepared for it. Otherwise, you might be one of the guys who drop out, one of the people who drop out. A lot of women are getting into riding motorcycles too. I love that. That's very cool.
Okay, the first thing you got to be ready for is how uncomfortable it is to ride a motorcycle. This is true of all ages, but especially as we get older, it is hard work. And you got to be prepared for that. It's worth it, but it's not. It doesn't feel like a TikTok or a YouTube video. I don't want anybody to see me here vlogging. I'm a vlogger now. It's a money pit. You waste so much money. It's way more expensive than you think. Getting the license, getting the bike, the equipment. It's an expensive hobby. I think some of the people who drop out, they are not prepared for that.
And I think to be sharp, you need to ride a couple of times a week at least. Can you do that in your life? Because if you can't, then you need to definitely temper your expectations about what you can do and how quickly you will learn and how safe you're going to be. Not going to break any records unless you have time to devote to this. Most people don't, so it's just another thing to keep in mind. You're not going to learn as fast as you perhaps think you are. But that's okay, you know? It's all about managing expectations. I just want you to come in with your eyes open so you don't stop, you know? So you don't go, nah, this is not for me. This is not what I thought it was. Because it is all those things that you're hoping it to be. It's just there's a lot of things that turn people off. And especially if you're in your 40s.
We are dreamers. If you're getting into motorcycling in your 40s, there's some inner journey you are on. About self-realization. I don't know. Maybe you follow the rules too much in your life and you want to do something that makes you feel free. You know, and it has all of those things, but it's you have to counterbalance that with all the real aspects of it. It is dangerous, and that's not really exciting kind of danger. You're not a spy, you're not an action hero. It's just some guy backing out of his driveway that could get you. And it's all a big waste. So all of those things, those factors starts working against you. You got to be prepared for it. That's all I'm saying, because I don't want you to drop out and quit. I want you to keep going and not have wasted all that time and money.
You're learning to ride, and that's the point of the first season. And you got to get through that first season all that learning with your spirits high. And you do that by not expecting the world, and you gotta pick a motorcycle that is comfortable to ride, light, nimble, cheap to ride, cheap to buy. You gotta be sensible, because it can quickly become this thing where it's a jewelry in your garage. It's too much power. You feel the value drop every kilometer you ride. Now you need something that's cheap and cheerful, that's gonna beckon you to come out there, you know? So pick the right bike. I would say don't go for a sports bike or an adventure bike for your first bike. Go for a middle of the road, standard naked bike. Relatively comfortable seating position, not too heavy, easy to flick around, nimble. You can whip around the parking lot without thinking about where to park and how to park. You just make it easy on yourself. You remove all these little things that starts to add up and may result in you not getting out there.
The most exciting thing for you right now is, what bike am I going to get, right? And you think what bike you get is very important because it defines you, this new you. You're going to be a sport bike rider, or you're going to be an adventurer in the Himalayas. But hold off on those dreams for now. Hear me out. In the first season, when you're learning, you need a bike that is easy to handle, that just invites you to go out and have fun. That's going to sustain you and your interests. That first season, that's all that matters. Getting out there and riding a lot. So think small in weight, low to the ground, but also not too small, because you need that fun factor is going to keep you going.
So middleweight, if you're in your 40s, you can handle 700. Some people say go even lower. I wouldn't go lower than 700 either, because it's you need this. And it's legal. You get up to the speed limit, maybe a touch above, and then you slow down. But you get a second here or there on that torque. That's the fun factor. Yeah, I'm at the pump now. This is a reality. This is expensive, but there are ways to mitigate it. And that is to get a smaller engine. I mean, when you're starting out, you don't know if this is going to change your life or if this is going to be something you abandon. I would say don't go over 700 cc. For a first motorcycle, no, don't do it. This is enough. This is more than enough. You have this vision of yourself, who you are, and you want to give it a little boost. You want to change. You just want that sense of freedom. And the motorcycle does provide that. It is very liberating. It's very enjoyable. It's a wonderful hobby. But in many respects, it's probably not what you think it is. But just tempering your expectations of what it is and what you can achieve. It takes time to build up. Now I want to talk a little bit to the tall guys, the tall kings. If you're above 6'2", no, if you're above 6, if you're 180 or above, I've got to let you in on a little secret. Motorcycle manufacturers don't care about us at all. It's not made for us. It's made for an average of the population. And especially if you're a bit heavy, maybe it's muscles, maybe it's fat. But if you're a bit heavy, it's definitely not made for us, especially the Japanese brands. So that's going to be something you start tweaking right away. If you get a Yamaha, you got to make sure it fits you physically. That might mean changing out the spring under the seat, moving the foot pegs, whatever. Now, there are many different types of riders people enjoy different things about riding, I guess. You need to figure out who you are as a rider. It may not be exactly what you think, but you'll figure all that out in the first season. That's when you'll learn to ride. That's when you're, that's going to be a glorious season. You'll feel like you're in love the whole time. Crazy. See, that's the type of rider you don't want to be. He's stressing all the way home. I don't know what he's riding, but it's fast. And he's on everybody's ass all the time. Don't be like that guy, okay? It's too stressful, too dangerous. If you're 40 plus, you're less likely to be that guy. But guys 40 plus do have a lot of accidents. We are overrepresented on the statistics. Even in Norway, the safest country in the world, traffic-wise. Look at him. Look at the stress he's putting that car driver under. Such a waste. Don't do it. See, I'm right behind him. Whatever you're worrying about, whatever you're ruminating on, problems in your life, this doesn't fix it, but it gives you a break from it. You come back from a ride and that pile of garbage is a little bit smaller, a little bit more manageable. And that's worth a lot, I think. Look at this. So epic, so beautiful. But autumn is coming. It's here. So it's a little melancholic as well. Still blinking, but I'm going to stop here, so can't fault me on that. Oh. I hope I've given you some food for thought. It's not as glamorous as it seems to ride, but it is wonderful. I hope you go through with your plans, follow those dreams. And I hope this video has been of help to you. And I'll see you in the next one. There's a bus there. Hey, hey.